Old son, what's good, my boy? Oh, this fucking rain feels so good on my skin in these woods, my boy. So today's topic is about how this constant exposure to the internet causes and breeds nihilism, and then the algorithm, what it feeds you, breeds extremism. It pushes you extreme one way. Most people nowadays are getting more blue light from their electronics than they are sunlight from our fucking environment. How crazy, I'm gonna repeat that again. People are getting more blue light from their phones than they are getting sunlight from our fucking mother nature. That is fucking insane, ain't it? But there's a lot of these massacres that keep happening, these pew pew things. Now, these all started from what I can really remember and think of is in the 90s, the 1999 Columbine massacre, right? In the 90s was whenever technology, the internet, really started to take a fucking boom, isn't it? It really started to blow up, and it enabled people to just dwell in their fucking basements like Gollum in his cave. Isn't that right? They just were able to start fucking dwelling in there, outcasting themselves from their community and everything. And nowadays, this shit has evolved so much that you can spend all day on your internet and never be bored. People are never bored anymore. So with all these things taken in consideration, you have no reason to leave, and you just repeat it over and over. And then on top of that, what's fed to you through the algorithm is absolute cancer of the mind. You see, let's do a little bit of a politic example. You have the left and the right. Say you lean a little bit in, it's like a bell curve, but say you lean a little bit towards the right, it will push you everything that you dislike. All these different people's rights and all this shit. It'll push liberals doing stupid shit that even normal liberals don't agree with. It'll push you this over and over and over again until it pushes you further into extremism on that right side. Likewise with the people on the left. It'll keep showing you things that are extreme. Dumb redneck hick people. Steven Crowder making a fool out of himself. Just all this shit over and over and over and over again, and it pushes you to the left. That's why these debate bros with their whole ideology is a fucking goddamn not healthy discussion, but you're actually wrong. A trans woman's not a person. Blah, blah, blah. Just even whatever you agree with, it's still just, they just push these ideologies on them to push them further apart into extremism. And likewise with this whole success thing online, they make it like it's this big unachievable ceiling on this whole thing, and it really pushes people into, oh well, I'm never gonna be able to make anything of myself. I'm just stuck in my job like a little slave all day, man. Fuck. And you can really go two ways with this. You can either go the nihilism route, which is, oh man, fuck, nothing matters, bro. Oh. Or you can go the, man, fuck, nothing matters right now, so I'm gonna go and get my shit and try as fucking hard as I can to get it. Those are the two routes. Now, whenever you are online constantly and you start going into the nihilism route with this shit, then the algorithm kicks up and starts pushing shit you dislike. And this pushes you further into hatred. Now, whenever there's an equation I'm starting to come up with, when you add nihilism with hatred, it breeds the people that commit these massacres. And think about it. Since 1999, there's only been more and more. Up until the last like 5 or 6 years, nowadays, there's a big ass shooting massacre, which seems like every month. And I don't believe it's the tools, the pew pew. I don't believe it's the tools. We are monkeys that use the tools. I believe it's this newfound formula of just constant online addiction that really breeds it. Combine nothing matters with hatred, and you get going out with a bang. They don't want to be alive, so they're going to get the retribution or whatever they call it. And that's really the formula of this shit. People need to go outside and breathe some fucking fresh air. Stop scrolling on your phone. They're entrapped. And I think this short form scrolling TikTok content has just only provided even more fuel to the fire, because they can just, it's like being brainwashed, just going over and over and over all day, seeing shit you hate and just getting pushed further and further. There's got to be some sort of mental health element to it, predisposed type shit, of course, but the majority of it, this is probably why it is happening. Now, I've been down the route of complete and utter nihilism. I've hated life. I thought nothing in life matters whatsoever. Nothing matters at all. That's what I used to think. But I've given my life to religion. I've devoted my life and time to making more money, being happy and peaceful, and I've never been happier in my life. And if I can do it, I used to play World of Warcraft 14 hours a day. I used to drink. Anytime I would drink alcohol, I'd have to drink like a fucking ungodly amount, bro. Just a crazy amount. Because I wanted to just get to a point in my mind where I was completely numb. Same thing with weed. I couldn't just smoke a joint once a week. I had to, once I felt that feeling of escapism and complete just escape, I would go and I would smoke I smoked a gram of wax every day and up to 10 grams of bud every day. I would smoke 5 dabs out of a dab rig before I went to high school, before I went to school for the day, and I would already be sober by first fucking period. So if I can do it, you can do it. And there's a few tools. I'm not going to give you the cliche start an online business and do all this. That's not for everybody. But what I will give you is a couple tools of go and be bored sometimes. Go and be bored sometimes. Learn that it is okay to just sit and with your own thoughts. See, these thoughts and all this creative shit in our mind that science understands a lot, right? But we still do not understand where our thoughts and how these different intricate, funny, creative things come from. And the only way to access these is through boredom. That's how fucking Isaac Newton was just sitting out there and an apple hit him in the fucking head and he got this brilliant idea. That's how you're gonna come up with these things. It's not gonna come to you from constantly filling this void with noise. You have to learn to sit in the void for a little bit. And then you can possibly achieve happiness. You can start to think of ways out of wherever your situation is. So that's one way. Be all right with being bored sometimes. Sit in the silence and just listen. I see all these people make jokes online. Oh, I can't even just sit in silence. The voices. They're being funny, but they're being truthful. So learn to be at peace with your own mind. I've fallen off this fucking self-improvement thing so many times because I wasn't able to do this. And for the first time in 3 years since I've been doing this, I've been utterly at peace with myself. I can just sit and stare into the woods or stare at the lake and just think about things like an old man. And it's so fucking peaceful, bro. It makes me feel so happy. Now, the second thing, get outside, dog. You can't stay in the room like Gollum. I see all these YouTubers make hit pieces on these gurus trying to better you. And I've never seen one. Have you ever seen one of these YouTube guru hating people where they're like, these people are scammers, all this shit? Have you ever seen them make a video outside? Or is it always in their dark little room with the fucking computer screen hitting them in the face? With the little LED strip around them with that light, red light or whatever mood light they got? They're never in sun. They're never letting that sun radiate and touch their skin and kiss them with that warm sun. So that's one. Get outside. Do whatever you want out there. Go on a fucking adventure, bro. Go on a fucking adventure. Just go out and see what the world has to offer. A lot of people are too scared to step out of their caves. Nothing's gonna happen to you, bro. So that's the second. And then once you start to become peaceful with your mind and you break through these limiting things and all this, you start to want money. You start to want to chase paper. This is one thing I preach, is to chase paper. And the only two ways, it's a two-step program on this with any endeavor you want to go after with money. I'm not here to preach online ways to make money, but these are the two things you got to do. First is take the leap. You can procrastinate and ideology, and you can procrastinate and come up with a perfect ideology for whatever you want. But until you take the leap and actually do it for the first time, no matter the quality, you will never get anywhere with it. And the second thing is to build discipline so you can keep doing it over and over and over again. That's the only way. I sound like a fucking Goggins motherfucker. Here, this is my Goggins impression. It's raining outside. Run in the rain. You don't know me, son. You don't know me, son. We'll go carry the boats. But those really, in all seriousness, are the only two ways to break through on anything you want to do in life. And now the third little tidbit advice. So let's recap. We got be bored sometimes. Stare and contemplate life. That's true meditation. Let thoughts from God, let thoughts from wherever these thoughts come from into your head, and just think about them. The second thing is get outside. Get into nature and get you some sun. And the third is figure out some way to make money to be free. You have to be free from this, because if you're never free and you're doing things you hate, then life is just meaningless if your day after day is just repetition of shit you hate. So, with all that being said, old son, I hope you enjoyed our talk. Always remember, chase paper, but enjoy nature. Have a great day.